This is KVUE News Daybreak.
On the hunt, cops on patrol cracking down on bad drivers today, where they're handing out tickets, and why they say they're making no exceptions for those that break the law.
A warning for female realtors working in Austin, why officials are asking women to be on alert for a suspicious man and why he's causing a concern.
Overnight, social media in a frenzy. Buckingham Palace called an emergency meeting. The announcement they made about the Queen's husband, that's coming up. All right, the second largest festival in the city of Austin, and now the lineup is out. And here it is. I can't, my eyes are so bad.
Okay, I can read better.
All right, here we go.
Chance the Rapper, Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Killers, Gorillaz,
Ice
Martin
Cube.
Garrix, Ice Cube, very nice.
That?
Foster the People. We've got,
Beyonce's sister Solange is there this year.
Hey, you know that. I'm impressed. We've got Milky Chance. I think you know who that is.
Milky Chance?
Yeah. I have no idea.
It's high in potassium.
We've got Run the Jewels. Who else do we have? I'm looking down towards the bottom where they're a little bit smaller.
Let's recap the top artists. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chance the Rapper, The Killers, Gorillaz, Ice Cube. Those are some of the headliners for ACL. Just came out literally 1 minute ago, and now we know. We're going to update that. We'll have more on that coming up this morning. Of course, tickets go on sale today as well at 10 a.m. So for weekends 1 and 2, which are the first 2 full weekends in October, $255 will get you into the whole weekend.
They don't mess around because they say right at 6 a.m. the lineup is going to come out. Right at 6 a.m. I refreshed it, and boom, there it is. So you can check it out again, aclfestival.com, or go to our website. I'm sure we have that as well. Some big news, though, out of England, right?
How about this? The live look here. This is at Buckingham Palace this morning. If you were on social media late last night or early this morning, you heard this. Buckingham Palace was all the talk, the frenzy today. Nothing too serious, though. We did learn the Queen's husband, 95-year-old Prince Philip, is stepping down from his public life, his public duties. Royal officials announcing the prince will no longer do things like scheduled public appearances. He is 95 after all. That'll start this fall. They also say Queen Elizabeth is fully supporting him, but she will continue with her public engagements as usual. Philip will turn 96 years old next month.
All right, let's get a look at what we're tracking out there with Storm Team meteorologist Erica Lopez.
Cooler temperatures this morning is what you can expect as you're heading out the door. It's going to be a pretty nice day outside. Enjoy it. Temperatures right now in the lower 60s, 60 at Camp Mabry, 62 at AVIA, dew points in the 40s also. A cooler, drier air mass settled in after a cold front pushed through us yesterday. That is making things quite nice outside. The coolest spot right now, Mason at 53 degrees this morning. What we can expect for today is lots of sun. Some breezy conditions. Check out your winds. By about lunchtime, sustained winds in the teens. That means gusts of up to 20 to 25 miles an hour at times. Temperatures should be under 80 degrees. Our daytime high today is expected to be 78 across the Austin metro area. And Naveed has the latest with the traffic. How are things shaping up this morning?
Pretty good for the most part. This is I-35 at Slaughter Lane. You can see that traffic is getting a little bit more congested as you're heading towards the city. Let's go ahead and talk about this accident here. This is a rollover crash, Terry Road at Birch Creek Road. Terry Road is closed in both directions, so you may want to use Stastny Lane towards I-35 if you're trying to get to the city this morning. Let's talk about your drive times. I-35 northbound Buda to downtown, 17 minutes. 22 minutes, I-35 southbound Round Rock to downtown. And 15 minutes, Mopac southbound, 45 to downtown. Guys, back to you.
Naveed, thank you for that. The man accused of stabbing 4 people, killing 1 at the University of Texas Monday, claims he doesn't remember what exactly happened during the attack. 21-year-old Kendricks White has been formally charged with murder. The other 3 victims who were stabbed have been released from the hospital this morning. According to police documents, White told police he did not remember the attack after being arrested. When White was interviewed, and asked if he knew why he was in police custody, he responded, quote, "Yes, accusations of pushing someone down, I think, using a bladed weapon," end quote. Later he said, quote, "If I did something I don't remember, then I want to be told." He's now in jail on a $1 million bond.
And the family of Kendricks White released this statement about Monday's attack, expressing their condolences to the victims, families, and students affected. They say in part, quote, "News of this tragic event came as an unfathomable shock to the White family, and they're doing everything possible to understand the state of their son's mental health leading up to and during the tragedy that has occurred."
Family, friends, and peers of the UT student killed in Monday's attack continue to comfort each other as they remember the life of freshman Harrison Brown.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Last night, thousands gathered on the steps of the UT Tower to pay their respects. University President Greg Fenves gave a speech talking about the legacy Brown is leaving behind.
And our thoughts are not enough to bring Harrison back. What we are left with tonight is a new reality, a painful reality, that our lives have forever been changed. To the victims who have survived, know that the University of Texas will always be here for you. You will always have this community to rely on.
And the Ransom Notes, that's the a cappella group on campus that Brown was a part of, shared memories of Brown and the impact he had on the group. They'll have a tribute for Brown at their final concert. That's tomorrow at UT's Texas Union Theater.
Well, after several days in the hospital, one of the 3 victims of Monday's stabbing is now back home with his family in Katy. 20-year-old Stuart Bayless was stabbed in the back and hand during the attack. The stabbing severed his tendons and blood vessels in his right hand. After undergoing surgery at UMC Brackenridge, doctors say in time he should have full use of his hand. Stuart says he can't recall much of the attack, though.
Like, my instincts kicked in just to, I cared more about everybody around me. Like, I knew I was just stabbed, but, I made sure everybody got out of there. I yelled run for everybody, and then we got over. I was making sure my friend was doing okay. He had to hold the shirt on my back to make sure I wasn't bleeding, and kept the pressure on there, and I was making sure he was okay, and just, I stayed in high spirits the whole time.
Stewart's family says they're grateful he's alive and for the support they've received from family and friends. Stewart expects to be back in school this fall.
6:06 now, and happening in just a few hours, the House of Representatives will vote on the Republican plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. The House Majority Leader says he expects the vote to happen between 12:30 and 1:30 this afternoon. Republican leaders at the White House spent yesterday hunting for votes and are believed to be within striking distance of passing the measure. A new amendment in the bill would still let insurance companies charge people with pre-existing conditions more, but would give states $8 billion over 5 years to help cover those patients. If the bill passes the House today, it will then head to the Senate.
A warning for realtors working in the Austin area. Several female agents say there's a suspicious man who's harassing them. They say it all started in February. The man keeps asking to look at homes only with the same female realtors. One Austin real estate broker told police he was calling at all hours of the night on an unlisted number while leaving frantic voicemails. Then he apparently began showing up to her office over and over again.
He insisted on tagging along and basically doing the exact same tour all over again. And that's not normal behavior. He was wearing leather gloves in the middle of the day, 85 degrees outside, and kept kind of trying to lure her to the back of the office. She was by herself, felt very uncomfortable.
The man hasn't physically harmed anyone, but the broker says his behavior is alarming. She learned that APD has been getting complaints about the same man from other agents in town. Austin detectives are investigating.
Rain and deadly floods hitting the Midwest. Video here from northeast Arkansas. An entire house can be seen floating down the river there before slamming into a bridge. Here that is. At least a dozen people have been killed in these floods. National Guard troops have been deployed across the region as more rain is expected there today. Boy, they need a break. For us, we're getting a nice break, a bit cooler today, and sunshine on the way, right, Erica?
That's right, and luckily that same system passed through our viewing area yesterday. We didn't get much rain at all from it compared to them. Our eastern counties had the majority of that rain. Here's a look at what we're seeing behind that system, though. Cooler temperatures and lots of sunshine. Daytime highs will be under 80 degrees for the majority of our viewing area. So that's good news for our mosquito meter, keeping things on the low side in terms of your forecast for mosquitoes the next several days. Low humidity levels. And the winds are going to help also. Here's our KVUE photo of the morning coming in from Natalie Bloom. So this is some of the severe size hail we saw in Fayette County yesterday with some of the isolated storms. Pretty impressive out there. Looks like the children were able to enjoy it. Guys, back to you.
Pretty big sizes, you're right.
That's right. Today, the Williamson County Sheriff's Office will be out again cracking down on bad drivers in school zones.
They started yesterday at Great Oaks Elementary, where several students walk or ride their bikes to school. Well, this morning they'll be at Bill Burden Elementary School, which is where we find KVUE's Corey Coffin reporting live. Hi, Corey.
Well, good morning to both of you. Yeah, deputies will be out here during peak start and end times of school, when the most traffic is and when the most students are out and about to and from school, coming to and from school. Now, parents tell KVUE that they've seen people driving too fast in these school zones, not stopping for crossing guards, and even not paying attention because they're on their cell phones. That can be a very dangerous situation. Sheriff Robert Chody said that he got several complaints about problem drivers in the county around school zones, which is why they decided to implement this program. They're out looking for anyone who will be speeding, rolling through stop signs, not obeying crossing guards, or who's on their phone. It's a welcome sight for concerned parents.
I was really excited to see them because safety is a big issue out here. Every time I see one of them on their motorcycles or in their SUVs, it makes me feel good. Or if I see them pulling somebody over, I'm like, yes.
Yesterday, deputies pulled over about 20 people during their rounds at Great Oaks Elementary. And as we mentioned, today they'll be back here at Bill Burden Elementary in the morning and afternoon. And the sheriff's office is implementing a zero tolerance policy for this, meaning that if you are pulled over, you're not just getting a warning, you will get a ticket. All right, guys, back to you in the studio.
All right, Corey, thanks.
Well, we're learning more about changes coming to school lunches across the country.
All right, Central Texas school officials say they won't be making any adjustment.
And Austin police are looking for a man they say assaulted a woman while posing as a rideshare driver. The busy part of town it's happening in, and the warning officials want everyone to be aware of. A 5-year-old girl is safe this morning thanks to a bus driver. This happened outside Milwaukee, where temperatures were around 40 degrees. The driver stopped her bus when she saw the girl wandering alone. The driver took her in a warm bus there to call police. Police then came. Officials say the girl snuck out of the house while everyone was sleeping. She told them she was trying to go to the mall. Well, the former Tennessee teacher who is accused of abducting his 15-year-old student is in the process of being transferred from California to Tennessee. Tad Cummins and Elizabeth Thomas were discovered last month in a rural California cabin after a month on the run. 50-year-old Cummins is facing kidnapping and sex crime charges in Tennessee. Officials say Cummins left California on Tuesday night. No word yet on when he is scheduled to arrive in Tennessee.
It is 6:15 now, and an Austin man is facing charges today for lying to police about a stabbing incident following Monday's deadly attack at UT. Officials say the 20-year-old lied about being stabbed by a man who was threatening a woman on Nueces Street near West Campus. Turned out the man who reported the attack actually cut himself while playing with a knife. Police say he fabricated the story because he realized the medical bills would be very high. He's now charged with making a false police report.
Well, new changes are coming to school lunch requirements for kids across the country. And this comes after the Trump administration says it received multiple district complaints over the previous Obama-era nutritional guidelines. The first, any district having a hard time transitioning to a 100% whole grain diet can continue operating under current expectations, where only 51% of grains need to be whole grain. Second, schools no longer need to hit the stricter sodium levels in foods, shown in here in Target 2 that you're about to see right there. And also, third, instead of offering a fat-free flavored milk, districts can now offer 1%. We spoke to several districts in the Austin area to see what their plans are. Officials with Round Rock, Austin, and Del Valley ISD also they have no plans to change their menus.
We're very focused on scratch cooking, bringing global flavors to our students, and having clean labels.
The new nutritional requirements will start with this upcoming school year for districts that are making changes.
Time to get a check on our forecast. We had some changes yesterday and some cooler temperatures today, right, Erica?
That's right. Right behind the cold front that pushed through us yesterday. This is where the cold front is now in the Gulf of Mexico. Still lots of rain for the southeast, even for portions of the upper Midwest. They're getting dumped on this morning. Here's what we've seen in terms of rainfall totals in the last 24 hours. Louisiana, our main concern. Lots of reports of water rescues out there. Up to 10 inches of rain for isolated areas. This is what we saw in our viewing area, mainly just the eastern counties. Heavy rain and also some hail. Golf ball size hail or so. Natalie Bloom sending this in Fayette County. Pretty impressive there. So I know the majority of us were on the quiet side, but we still had some of those storms that were on the stronger side. Live look outside. It is gorgeous. Clear skies. Temperatures in the 60s. Cooler than yesterday. Anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees cooler from yesterday morning. Quite nice. Here's what the next 48 hours are looking like. Plenty of sunshine. It's going to be dry. Temperatures in the 70s for your afternoon today. 80s tomorrow. The weekend forecast, obviously very important. Gorgeous Saturday. Southeast winds, increasing humidity, 87 degrees for Sunday. Perfect weekend. I know a lot of fun events are going on. Take advantage of the outdoors while you can. Mold is expected to be in the low category. Here's your next 7 days. Next chance of rain is until about mid next week. Enjoy the dry spell in our forecast. Anavid has the latest on the roads. What's going on?
Well, the roads are looking pretty good as well. I-35 at Schofield Farms. Traffic is moving quite nicely right here if you're traveling in southbound on I-35. So looking pretty nicely this morning. If you're coming in from Cedar Park, 183 southbound, 45 to downtown, a 7-minute commute. 45 to I-35, a 10-minute commute. Now, if you're traveling on Mopac southbound, 45 to downtown, a 15-minute commute, and 4 minutes, 2222 to Cesar Chavez. Now, that accident that was reported earlier on Birch Creek has cleared, so good news there. Guys, back to you.
All right, I have to say, I smelled something really good this morning just a few minutes ago, and I thought, what is that delicious smell? What? Then I realized we dipped below 70, so Yvonne has hot chocolate up here, and that's what I'm smelling.
Are you talking about chocolate? Yeah, I know. It smells
so it smells
good,
really good, yeah, but we dipped down below 70. You got to warm up out there.
It's cold. Very cold.
Be on the lookout. A sophisticated phishing scam making its way through hundreds of Gmail accounts.
And it's putting your personal info at risk for theft. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo explain how to avoid getting hooked by hackers.
In today's Tech Bites, Google is taking steps to fight a phishing scam.
Yeah, that scam is aimed at stealing your personal information. Google says if you receive an email from someone asking you to open a Google Doc and you don't know the sender, then don't open the email.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says his company is stepping up efforts to monitor online content and remove violent videos. To do that, Facebook is hiring 3,000 new employees over the next year.
The move follows recent criticism that Facebook hasn't acted fast enough to pull violent images down. And for the first time, a majority of households across the country using only cell phones with no landlines in sight.
A new government report found 50.8% of all U.S. homes have gone strictly mobile.
But get this, among millennials, that rate rises to more than 70%.
So 30% of millennial households have landlines?
Who are they?
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Your school bell forecast is looking mighty nice for this Thursday. Lots of sun to enjoy. Cooler temperatures under average all day long. As you head out the door, temperatures in the 50s, warming up to 60s by about 8 a.m. Breezy conditions all day long, though, so keep that in mind. Sustained winds in the teens for a lot of us. Here's a look at your forecasts in terms of UV index. Lots of sunshine, putting your UV forecast very high at 8. Make sure to protect yourself from the sun today and the next couple of days also. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thanks so much. Well, in other news, at 6:24 is your time, and Austin police need your help this morning finding a rideshare imposter who's accused of attacking a woman after picking her up at the Domain. Take a look at your screen. This is a sketch of the driver. Investigators say he is 30 to 40 years old, approximately 5'10", and bald. He was driving a white van. Austin police say the assault happened back on March 19th. The victim says she got into the wrong vehicle after receiving a text from her rideshare driver. She told police the driver pulled over along Mopac and sexually assaulted her. We spoke with a Ride Austin official, and she has some tips for anyone who might be in a similar terrifying situation.
You want to make sure that everything lines up. It could be absolutely terrifying to know or not know what this person is going to do with you. They lock the doors, you know, they don't want to let you out, and that's when you have to start making some noise. If it comes to it, you know, try to kick the windows.
Well, if you have any information that can help investigators, call police. Have you been seeing this picture of a newborn holding an IUD in his hand all over your Facebook feed? Well, a lot of people say this baby was born with that contraceptive in his hand, and we wanted to verify whether or not that was true. Well, the picture is not fake. It was posted by Lucy Hellion of Alabama. That's her newborn son, who was conceived while she had that Mirena IUD. And however, her son was not born with the IUD in his hand. Instead, the IUD was found during her C-section, and it was placed in his hand as a sort of tongue-in-cheek nod to conceiving while having an IUD in, because it's quite rare.
99.9% effective, next to impossible. You have a better chance of winning the lotto.
Well, Mom says this was her third time using the Mirena, and she's never had any problems before. However, she says she's now taking more permanent measures. Lawmakers plan to hold a vote today on a health care plan that would replace Obamacare. So what's next for the country if the bill passes? And one of Austin's biggest festivals has just released the lineup for this year's event. KVUE's Jay Wallace joins us next with details on how and when you can get your tickets.
This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Welcome back and good morning. 6:29 is your time.
It is 6:29. The gang is all here is what I'm trying to say. Anavid is in the red. I'm in the gray. Yvonne's wearing brown. But let's begin with, I don't know why I did that, Erica Lopez in blue today. I'm just trying to make it different. We say the same thing every hour.
Changing it up on a Thursday.
Well, hey, we're finally not matching. It's not fun when we're always matching. No, we never plan it, if you're ever wondering. Here's a live look outside. Gorgeous sunrise. Clear skies out there as the sun's rising. It's kind of cool also. A cool down from yesterday. We're in the 60s this morning. Yesterday we were in the 70s. Check out the dew points. Dry conditions out there because a cold front passed through us yesterday. Here's a look at the temperature change in the last 24 hours. 18 degrees cooler LaGrange than where we were yesterday. Austin, a 13-degree cool down for you guys. So how's the rest of our Thursday going to play out? Well, you're going to like the forecast. Lots of sun, below average temperatures. The only thing you may be concerned about will be the kind of stronger winds, sustained winds in the teens, gusts in the 20s, maybe even 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts that we'll be monitoring. So, Anavid has the latest on road conditions this morning. Any accidents to talk about?
Actually, none at this hour. It is 6:30 a.m. and it looks pretty awesome. This is a clear shot of I-35 at Schofield Farms. If you're coming in from Round Rock area down south, you can see that all is clear and green. This is Austin metro area. No accidents or major incidents to report at this hour. I-35 northbound Buda to downtown. A slower commute, 25 minutes as well. I-35 southbound Round Rock to downtown. Now, if you're traveling from Cedar Park, 183 southbound 45 to Mopac, a 7-minute drive, 10 minutes 45 to I-35. Now, if you're taking Mopac southbound 45 to downtown, 15-minute commute, 4 minutes 22:22 to Cesar Chavez. Guys, back to you.
KVUE's Jay Wallace here in the newsroom to let you know that the wait is finally over as the early morning announcement of the Austin City Limits Music Festival lineup has been released. Go ahead and take a look at this list as the Red Hot Chili Peppers can't stop coming back to Austin. There was no problem convincing Chance the Rapper to come as well. And how about this? Ice Cube, originally known as O'Shea Jackson, by the way, bringing some West Coast rap to the stage. This is the 16th year of ACL, as this year's festival will be at Zilker Park on October 6th through the 8th and 13th through the 15th. 3-day tickets for the festival go on sale in about 3.5 hours at 10, with wristbands costing $2.55 each. Brian, Yvonne, you guys got mine, right?
Of course. We got it covered, Jay.
Thank you.
I love that he talked about West Coast rap, East Coast rap. Yeah, we're going to start some rivalry.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Bring it down to Austin. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
The bill to ban so-called sanctuary cities heading to Governor Abbott's desk. Late last night, Governor Greg Abbott tweeting out, quote, "The Texas sanctuary city ban wins final legislative approval. I'm getting my signing pen warmed up." That was a tweet from our governor. Yesterday, the Senate in Texas voted on party lines to accept amendments to Senate Bill 4 made by the House. Senate Bill 4 requires all law enforcement to honor requests from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Department to hold someone in jail while their immigration status is investigated. Before the vote, Senator Charles Perry, the author of the bill, talked about what Senate Bill 4 will not do.
Now, nowhere in the bill, as it comes back from the House, does it instruct officers to demand papers. Nowhere in this bill does it allow officers to stop a person solely to enforce federal immigration law.
I'm afraid that this legislation will lead to harassment and profiling of Latinos, especially our children. And this is the last thing that any of us would want. We certainly don't want walking while brown to become reasonable suspicion.
Now, numerous organizations have made it clear if the bill becomes law, they will file a lawsuit against the state of Texas.
Well, today the House will vote on a measure that could be the first step in repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. It appears President Trump and House Republicans finally have the votes for their new health care plan. But as ABC's Kenneth Moten explains, the battle on Capitol Hill is just getting started.
Today, 216 votes. That's what it'll take for the House to pass the GOP health care plan.
We're going to pass it. Let's be optimistic about life.
House Republicans ready to vote after days of face-to-face lobbying by President Trump.
Mr. Vice President, on health care, do you have the votes?
Capitol Hill meetings with the vice president to sway those against and undecided, and a last-minute amendment by 2 Republican congressmen to give states $8 billion over 5 years to help cover pre-existing conditions.
With this addition that we brought to the president and sold him on in over an hour meeting in here with him, that we're both yeses on the bill.
This morning, Democrats on the attack.
This is deadly. This is deadly. Trump Care means heart-stopping premium increases for Americans.
House Republicans voting before the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has a chance to weigh in. Hundreds of leading patient and health groups are speaking out against the bill. The American Cancer Society calling the changes particularly egregious. The American Medical Association warning of second-class health care coverage if people with pre-existing conditions are able to obtain coverage at all.
There are so many variables that are unknown that to make an analysis of that level of precision, it seems almost impossible.
The House vote could happen sometime this afternoon. If the bill passes, it's on to the Senate, where it will face an even tougher fight. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the day after Hillary Clinton partially blamed the FBI director for her loss in the 2016 presidential election, he is now sharing his side of the story. During a congressional hearing yesterday, James Comey spoke candidly about what he called one of the most painful decisions he has ever had to make. He said when his team discovered thousands of new Clinton emails, he had to decide whether to inform Congress or say nothing.
I stared at Speak and Conceal. Speak would be really bad. There's an election in 11 days. Lordy, that would be really bad. Concealing, in my view, would be catastrophic. Not just to the FBI, but well beyond.
Newsroom.
Well, Comey also said that while it makes him mildly nauseous to think the FBI might have impacted the election, he would still make the same decision today.
6:36 now, and the Austin police officer who investigators say tried to fake his own death is headed to the Travis County Jail this morning. Police took Officer Coleman Martin into custody at the Dallas airport yesterday. Officials say he just landed at DFW coming from Columbia. According to authorities, Martin was actually on his way home back to Austin when he was arrested. Authorities say he staged a scene near the U.S. border with Mexico last week to make it look like he had committed suicide. The 29-year-old faces a misdemeanor charge of filing a false report.
Well, today, Austin City Council will take a big step forward to improve local roads. Today, they will look over spending for 3 major projects: Loop 360, the intersection of 620 and 2222, and Palmer Lane. These projects are funded by the $720 million mobility bond voters approved last November. And also on the agenda is figuring out where to improve sidewalks, trails, bike paths, and safety improvements at dangerous intersections near schools. The council will also consider hiring the team that will plan and implement the rest of the bond. They're looking to hire 21 employees in 5 different departments for the project. A warning for parents this Daybreak. A new study shows the amount of screen time young kids are exposed to can really have an impact on their speech development. I'm listening to this one. And that's according to researchers at the University of Toronto. They followed more than 1,000 kids under 2 years old, and they found the more time they spend using smartphones and tablets, the more likely they are to start talking later. The study also shows that kids who got 28 minutes of screen time a day showed significant speech delays.
Well, the Spurs were dominated in Game 1 of their second-round playoff series with the Rockets back on Monday, but San Antonio did the dominating in Game 2 last night. Kawhi Leonard led the way. He had a game-high 34 points, including some big shots in the second half and the fourth quarter. After point guard Tony Parker went down with a leg injury, no word yet on how serious that injury is. He'll have an MRI today. As for last night, and there's Parker there, that wasn't good to see. Last night, the Spurs outscored Houston 33-13 in the fourth quarter as they pulled away 121-96. The series now tied at a game apiece. They head to Houston for games 3 and 4 tomorrow and Sunday. All right, who's ready for some chicken? The grand opening of the new Chick-fil-A. This is in Round Rock on University. Some excited people telling that cow to move over as they make their way towards a coupon for free Chick-fil-A for a full year. 52 meals for free. People in line, some of them for 24 hours to get that free food for a year. The new restaurant opened just about 40 minutes ago. It is at 305 University Boulevard. If you've been to Round Rock and down University, just past IKEA, it's there on the right as you head out of town.
That's so cool. I'm happy for them. By the way, the mascot, you know, the cow, I don't think he could see. The peripheral vision was kind of limited. He kind of hit the pole a little bit.
It's hard to walk around in that big cow head.
Poor girl.
Well, hey, if they were hanging out there all night, it was cold out there. Overnight temperatures dropped into the 50s. A cold front passed through yesterday, so take a look at what we're seeing right now. Still in the 50s for a lot of areas. Austin warmed up into the 60s on the dot right now, but the coolest spot is Mason at 53. It's also been breezy, so that doesn't help out the cooler temperatures that we're feeling this morning. Daytime highs today, lots of sun and temperatures in the upper 70s. That's about 6 degrees colder than our average for this time of the year. It's going to be comfortable but breezy. North wind coming in at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Overnight tonight, another cool and nice night in the 50s. It's going to be a fun one if you have any outdoor plans. Here's a look at our KVUE photo of the morning. Some hail. I know a lot of us did not even see any rain. You're probably wondering, where was the rain? Where was the weather we're talking about? Our eastern counties actually had some severe size hail and the bulk of our rain yesterday afternoon. Guys, back to you.
All right. May the 4th be with you. You remind me.
You got to do it right. May the 4th be with you.
Okay. Namaste. Yes.
That's right. Star Wars Day today. May the 4th, the unofficial Star Wars, I'm a nerd, holiday. It's upon us once again. Fans of the franchise adopted May the 4th as a day to celebrate all things Star Wars. Simply because, why is it black there? You can't see anything. Simply because May the 4th sounds a lot like, of course, May the Force be with you. This is video from the trailer of The Last Jedi, the 8th chapter in the Star Wars saga that comes out in December of this year.
Yeah.
How about that? Are you excited? You can't hardly contain yourself.
I remember last year when you had a whole diagram and you explained how it's 4, 5, 6, and then he wrote the whole shebang for me to try to explain it to me, and now I get it.
And now you understand.
There we go. What's going to be happening at the Dell Diamond tonight?
The Force will be strong at the Dell Diamond tonight. Of course, the Round Rock Express playing a home game tonight. They're having Star Wars night.
Oh.
So if you've got a Chewbacca costume in the closet, go ahead and throw it on. Head out there. First pitch set for 7:05.
I have 2, so I'm ready to go.
You have 2 Chewbacca costumes?
Totally.
Well, good for you. People pretending to have service dogs.
Yeah, that's the story we're talking about. The websites encouraging people to do it and how to tell the difference between a real service dog and a fake.
I'll get this one.
All right. You do it pretty good, Brian.
Thank you very much. Believe me, at KVUE, I clean up a lot of Sorry, I shouldn't have said that on camera. I say that a lot. I shouldn't have said that on camera.
No, that's why we love you. It's funny.
We're heading to the horse stables today for Take This Job. Let's see if I have what it takes to handle this job. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back. You're looking at some live pictures now, happening now in Houston. These pictures are live courtesy of our sister station, KVUE. There's a fire apparently at a restaurant. So right now you can see firefighters are busy trying to control that blaze. They're working hard trying to pull the hoses, getting all that underway. But again, right now I'm looking at their website, their webpage, and according to KVUE Twitter, they're saying that it's Charlie's Barbecue. That's on fire, and firefighters are on their way to try to put that. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite some damage. But again, some news coming out of Houston, courtesy of our sister station. 6:45 is your time. Here are some of today's top stories. Other top stories. We learned overnight that the Queen's husband, 95-year-old Prince Philip, is stepping down from public life. Royal officials announced the prince will no longer do scheduled public appearances starting in the fall. They also say that Queen Elizabeth will continue her public engagements per usual. A group of Texans are headed to the state capitol today, asking lawmakers to stop legislation that would restrict abortions. Multiple organizations are working together and will deliver petitions signed by more than 15,000 Texans. Now, this is the right information here. Filmmakers with the Texas Motion Picture Association will also be lobbying at the Capitol today. They're meeting at the South Steps to show support for the film industry. Now today, the Williamson County Sheriff's Office will be out cracking down on bad drivers in school zones. Here we go. They started yesterday at Great Oaks Elementary, where several students walk or ride their bicycles to school. This morning, they'll be at Bill Burden Elementary School. Deputies will be out during peak start and end times at the school when most students are going in and out. Over to Brian.
Yvonne, thank you very much. Take This Job Week continues today, and today it's all about horsepower. Cindy at CNC Pleasure Horse Stables in Round Rock had me out to help her with her wonderful animals. And let me tell you, Cindy works very hard.
Come on. Come on, Bug.
Cindy Vogt has always loved horses.
I came out of the womb loving horses. I'm serious. Everything, you know, when I was little, all I had was horses.
So she and her husband turned that love into a job right in her own backyard. Of course, that yard is 5 acres.
Okay, well, this is, of course, Take My Job. I'm not going to take your job, but I would love to watch you do it and maybe help you if I can.
Okay.
Is that okay?
All right.
All right, let's get started.
All right.
What are we going to do first today?
We're going to go ahead and clean 3 stalls, and then we're going to feed.
So this is...
Cleaning a horse stall means exactly what you think it means.
And I can see that he's left us, or she's left us a little bit.
Yeah, I cleaned some of them already.
That good?
And then we go out here.
All right.
Cindy cares for 8 horses at CNC Pleasure Horse Stables.
Oh, I see it waiting on us.
She calls it Sun City for horses. Most of these beautiful animals are in their golden years.
I'll get this one.
All right. You do pretty good, Brian.
Thank you very much. Believe me, at KVUE, I clean up a lot of Sorry, I shouldn't have said that on camera.
With 8 horses, there is a lot to clean up.
This smells good.
Oh, yeah.
Up next.
So this is
breakfast.
Senior feed for these old horses.
After the extras are added to the food, a couple of horses get supplements for pain. Each bucket gets a shake. It's time to feed. Each horse welcomes this delicious mix.
Come on, Devin, you can come in here now.
He's camera shy. Devin's camera shy.
Cindy's owned Devin for 16 years now. He's 21. A couple of more stops for the rest of the horses. Can't leave them out.
Put some hay in here.
Okay.
And take it to the other side. And then we're going to pick up all their manure. And
more manure. All right.
We load up the hay next and hit the trail over to the other stall that houses George, Sterling, and Dancer.
Very welcome.
Dancer's the oldest horse on the property. He's 25.
Delivery, huh? Just like a pizza place.
We then head out to spread that manure we so carefully collected. We load all those great smelling buckets into the spreader, which is attached to Cindy's golf cart, which she got at Sun City. She uses that manure to fertilize her grass.
You know, a lot of people put it in a big old pile.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. And I always spread it.
After the manure ride, it's time to clean a bit. And yes, she let me operate the blower. I'll tell you, the floor, it was spotless.
Was there anything else you want us to do? To work on? Did we do okay? Okay, honestly.
You did excellent. You did excellent.
All in all, a fun time, a good job, and a lot of work.
You did use a lot of elbow grease, didn't you?
You're not supposed to work us that hard. Just let us come out, take a couple of photos, and get out of there. Man, I was working hard. It was fun.
Speaking of, oh my, was I out of my element. We're going to continue tomorrow morning as we continue our Take This Job series, where I trade out my microphone for a ratchet and get an important lesson in auto repair and auto maintenance. So we're going to go out to Charles Montoyota here in Austin.
That was your car, we must say.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. No one trusts me to work
no
on
cars were
their
injured
car.
in the making of this video.
Now let's check on the forecast.
Guys, I'm impressed. You're working hard out there. Here's a look at our current view right now. Cold front pushing through our viewing area. That did push through yesterday. So now well off into the coast of Mexico. Low pressure bringing in heavy rain across the upper Midwest, also the southeast. Check out just how much rain we're talking about. We had flooding reports yesterday. Also, a lot of concern still for Louisiana. That's our main concern this morning. Here's what we saw across our viewing area. Eastern counties. Isolated storms, but they were quite impressive at times. Check out the hail that was associated with some of these storms. Golf ball size hail. Natalie Bloom caught this in Fayette County. Thanks so much for sending that in. So I know a lot of us didn't get rain, but now we're getting clear skies for the majority of the viewing area. That cold front, if it didn't bring in rain, it definitely pushed out the humidity and pushed out all the clouds that we were seeing yesterday. Temperature is slightly cooler, lower 60s, dew points in the 40s this morning. So very, very cool and comfortable out there. Here's our forecast for the next 48 hours. 70s daytime highs today, well under average, lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, we're going to heat things up slightly, still rather dry and comfortable. Temperatures will be in the 80s for Friday afternoon. Though your weekend forecast still looking pretty nice. What we'll see is increased humidity as a south wind comes into play. Mid 80s, upper 80s for Sunday. A little bit more humid on Sunday, but still going to be under a 60-degree dew point. So still very comfortable and bearable. Typically after 60 degrees, that's when it starts feeling sticky. Mold is forecasted to be in the low category, pecan and grass in the medium category. Check out your latest counts every single day in the Statesman. So guys, lots of sunshine in the forecast. Great weekend weather. Even the start of next week's looking nice. Next chance of rain is about mid next week. Annabeat has the latest in terms of traffic. How are things looking out there, Annabeat?
A lot busier. Heavy traffic here at 183 at Balcones Club. You can see a lot of red here as they're heading southbound. This is also a look at I-35 in Schofield. A little bit better here, but I-35 going northbound, there is a crash on the service road northbound near Woodland Avenue as you're approaching Lady Bird Lake. This is an area that you need to use caution around. You can see backup is starting just behind this crash, so make sure you take a look at that before hitting the roads. Let's go ahead and look at I-35 northbound. If you're coming in from the Buda area, you can expect traveling about 14 miles per hour. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. 6:53. Concerns are growing about people pretending to have service dogs so they can take their pets anywhere. And there are websites where people can buy vests for their dogs that are not service dogs. Plenty of imposters have been caught on camera, and there are some signs to look out for. Trained service dogs won't bark in public or act aggressively toward other dogs or people. And a live look outside. Again, we're talking about some breaking news coming out of Houston. This is in North Harris County, a massive fire. You can see a lot of smoke, or white smoke, which means that a lot of the flames are out. But again, this is Charlie's Barbecue, or it was Charlie's Barbecue. It's a longtime restaurant there in North Houston. Massive fire. Firefighters are working from all angles to put this blaze out. Again, you're looking at aerial views, but something big taking place courtesy of our sister station, KVUE, our sister station there.
A last look of the roads. I-35 northbound Buda to downtown, a little bit more than half an hour, 29 minutes. I-35 southbound Round Rock to downtown. Typical slowdowns out there this morning. How does weather look out?
Well, pretty sunny for the next several days. Today's the coolest day, temps in the 70s. It's going to be breezy, not only today, also tomorrow. But guys, check out the weekend forecast. Man, looking nice.
I'm loving it. Nice.
Yvonne, may the 4th be with you.
Oh my goodness.